Hello, Just Too Good here with our look at the first 2023 LEGO Ideas review. This is the biggest review phase yet, with 71 product ideas that might become official LEGO sets. Now, the first 2022 LEGO Ideas review was one that still has sets that haven't released yet, where there was the insect set that's at least rumored for September 2023, but the Polaroid and Orient Express set have no planned release dates. So is it safe to say that some of these might be 2025 sets at the earliest, mid to late 2024? Regardless, we have this first one, which is Dr. Seuss and Lego. And this is designed kind of like those classroom book sets from Harry Potter, which is now a discontinued idea. Now they do the banners. The designs of these is kind of awesome to see that format applied to these classic Dr. Seuss books we all grew up on. And seeing those worlds brought in with a fold out book, kind of like the classroom ideas, and all these different minifigures is very interesting. I like my crazy minifigures, and some of these might be a little bit too brick built for my taste, but I'm sure the official LEGO Ideas versions will be something with custom pieces for the heads. Will this be made? Well, usually with these LEGO Ideas, I'll have like, okay, this one has a high chance, a low chance. So in this one, I'll do high chance, mid chance, or low chance, or not possible at all. I'd put this one at a mid chance. It's a unique enough idea and a license that we're all familiar with for it to be made. However, it does seem a bit random in just bringing these three books together and having them in a book fold out format. Now, I'm not saying, okay, yeah, these are books that are iconic, translating them to LEGO books makes sense, but rather, I don't know if the whole build idea of will attract buyers who love these books to bring them out as these fold out book ideas like the Harry Potter classroom sets makes it such a likely chance. But again, I don't think it's a low chance at all. It's just kind of in the middle for a chance. So yeah, is it likely? Is it not? No, it's just kind of in the middle. So that's pretty cool. Great job, LEGO Fan 506. Now we have Sweet Honey. This is interesting as it's a bee collector setup with a little honey hive there. You even have a honey stand and those classic bee collector minifigures from the previous minifigure series. We did a whole song about that back in the day if you know the Just 2 lore. Does this have a likelihood to be made? I don't think so. I would put this in a low to not possible chance, where it just seems like an idea that is a bit too niche for the general public for a LEGO Ideas set. Okay, here's a bee honey hive. Here's some bee stands for selling honey. It seems a bit too niche in my opinion. Then we have the Botanical Garden. And this design looks gorgeous, but I don't think this has any likelihood of being made because we have an extremely similar design with LEGO Friends coming out in summer 2023, which is one of my favorite sets of summer 2023. Apparently, it's going to be $80 in the United States. If it's up to $120, I'm still buying it. That's fantastic at an $80 to $120 price range. And with this being so similar with the same color scheme, I just don't think this has a chance. But it is a fantastic project. Then there's the Crown, A Piece of History. This is interesting. I really like the shaping of this and all the little diamond pieces being used. That's awesome. Very cool color scheme. I would put this at a low to mid chance. It's a real life object, but something like the Polaroid is getting made once again. And it's a very iconic real life object that we haven't seen in a larger scale. And LEGO does like their larger scale, let's take an object and LEGOfy it things. So yeah, I would put this in a low to mid chance. I think this has a possibility, maybe even more mid chance than low chance. So that's pretty cool. Then we have Stargate SG1. Now, Stargate SG1, I just don't think is too popular in the pop culture zeitgeist at the moment. Unfortunately, it seems too niche as a property, while a lot of people would like it to be made. And we almost got a taste, I remember, with people saying, okay, these Ninjago Snakes figures are very similar to what you'd see in SG1. You can see one of the figures in there actually uses that piece as a base. But yeah, I don't think it's relevant in the pop culture zeitgeist, unfortunately, with just the normies out there, some people will say, just the mainstream public. So I would say this really has no chance, but still, cool project. Then we have the Roscosmos Soyuz. I can't even say it. MS Spacecraft. Now, LEGO Ideas loves their space projects. I mean, heck, we even have this one releasing in like a week. I think next week, maybe. And the design of this is another space object, a space research object. With how likely those are, and with this probably being out, 2025, I would put this at a mid chance because LEGO does like capturing space sets in their ideas line. So yeah, mid chance, maybe mid to low. Then we have Motorized Howl's Moving Castle. I love Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite Ghibli little movies. The design of this is very interesting, a bit more downscales than I'd hope. Like, it's not minifigure scale particularly, I would say. It's more of like a mid-scale. But yeah, they've denied Ghibli projects before, where we had this really cool one for Spirited Away that never got made, and that really made me sad. I think we had a Totoro one too, so I don't think this one will be made because this is even less popular than those. But Howl's Moving Castle is still very iconic. It just seems like LEGO doesn't want to capture anything anime, which really makes me sad. I hope one day they do. And look at that, there's another Stargate project. What the heck? I mean, I said it, I still don't think it's so popular in the pop culture zeitgeist, but maybe the LEGO Ideas community really likes seeing Stargate captured. So maybe in the future we will, but I still don't think it just has relevancy. Maybe if there's a reboot or something like that on air right now in the movies that is like a hit, they'll make it. But yeah, still don't think it'll be likely. But still a really cool project. And oh, this is by my friend Captain Mutant. That's cool. You know, he's been trying to get a LEGO Ideas project to 10K for a while, so I'm actually really happy for him. Then we have the medieval Seaside Market. The design of this looks great, but apparently we're going to be getting a remake of that El Dorado Fortress. My bad. The design of that is pretty similar to what's going on here, and with that being a direct consumer rumored for the summer, I don't think this is likely to see this being released so close to the idea of that set being remade. So I would put this to not likely, unfortunately, but it's a beautiful project. Then we have Brick Boulevard. I love this design, but it seems like LEGO is allergic to doing city buildings in the LEGO Ideas line, unfortunately, which makes me very sad. They haven't done a modular ever, unless you count the old fishing store as one, unless you count the A-frame cabin as one, which, again, are more outside the city. So that makes me really sad, so I'd put this as a not likely. And the same, unfortunately, with the Retro Comic Store, which looks so cool. I'd also love an Android's Dungeon one day, but it seems like we'll never get more LEGO Simpsons. So yeah, not likely. Beautiful project, though. Wish it was made. Now, this is awesome. Shrek Swamp. Wow, I just did a Schwamp. This is by my boy Ash and Flash. You know, Ash and Flash and I go way back. We're still buddies to this day. It was me who convinced him to make a YouTube channel. I was begging him. I was like, please make a YouTube channel. Your custom minifigure art is awesome. And now look at him today. He's made this project. And because of that, once this gets made as a LEGO idea set, I will take that 1% of the revenue and I'll take all of it, you know, because I got him on the platform. No, I'm kidding. But with that being said, I'm not kidding that I think this is one of the most likely so far that we've covered in this video. I would put this in a very likely category. You see, DreamWorks and LEGO are teaming up recently with this Gabby's Dollhouse theme. They've done it before with Trolls. Shrek is extremely popular with the buyers of LEGO in the pop culture zeitgeist. A lot of us grew up on it and are now adults to spend money on it. Puss in Boots was a hit last year. This is the most likely so far, and I cannot wait for this to be made. And it's by my boy Ash and Flash. I'm rooting for this project. I think it's so likely. It's a beautiful, beautiful project. The design of Shrek Swamp is captured so well. The minifigures are captured very interestingly. I think the ogres work more, but of course we're going to get like a molded Puss in Boots. We're going to get a molded donkey, and I cannot wait for this to be made. So I would put this in a very likely, again, that top tier. This is probably going to be made. Good job, Ash and Flash. You rule. Oh, I forgot to say with Shrek, sorry, that there's going to be a Shrek 5 coming out soon. So even better. It even makes more sense. This is just a perfect project. Anyways, Baby, Greed, Sea Turtle, Kinetic, Quaint Wolf made this one. The design of this, I think, has a possibility to be made. It's another animal one, which they've done animal ones before. I would put this in a mid possibility, where it's an idea that not only captures a realistic animal in this LEGO object format, you could say, but, you know, now that's in, say, the animal format, which they did way back with the birds or doing with the insects. And plus, it has that form of feeling that it's something that actually moves, which is interesting, so it has a twist to it. Really love the natural landscapes. I put this in a mid-likely to maybe even pretty darn likely. You know, that very likely. So yeah, I think this one has a huge chance, honestly. The Humpback Whale. Now, I think this one has less of a chance, even though it has that idea of, okay, this is an animal being captured. However, I think the style is a bit too abstract for the general public, and we really have to see how that space idea set, the space age set sells, because it almost has a similar, okay, let's try to take an abstract capturing of something iconic and make it a LEGO Ideas project. So I think LEGO will hold off on this and be like, okay, wait. So yeah, I don't know if this one's likely. I would put it in not likely at all to, I guess, not as likely. So yeah, unfortunately, sorry about that one. Now, here's the thing. There's another Shrek Swamp project, which shows the popularity here. Then again, there's two Stargate ones. And I think Ash and Flash's being first might make it more legible. Plus, Ash and Flash is a LEGO ambassador member. So that means the partnership is already there between him and Lego. However, this has a chance. I mean, there was a point where I think they had like 2 Ghostbusters ones, and I think they went with the second Ghostbusters one. But I just think Ashton has a little bit more of a chance. But I would put this to mid to very likely, because still, I think just the idea of Shrek's swamp is just such a popular idea. Something that can be made with a partnership that LEGO currently has, because DreamWorks and LEGO are teaming up. Then we have Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the 99th Precinct. Wow, I cannot say the word precinct. Today I learned. The design of this, I think, is a sitcom that is beloved, but just doesn't have that popularity of an Office, of a Friends, of even a Big Bang Theory at its heyday, just yet to be made. I don't think this one's very likely, if likely at all, unfortunately. I mean, they haven't done Community yet, unfortunately, and I think Community is more popular than Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But yeah, still a cool project, you know, that sitcom styling that people love, once again, but I don't think it has a chance this time, but I think in the future there is still a chance. I mean, it took a while for The Office to be made. Then we have the LED lamp. This is interesting, and it's cool that this actually works. I like the translucent pieces as well. Very unique idea. It just depends how much LEGO wants to market this as a lamp that actually shines so much. I think that will be the downfall of it is, okay, can they actually market this as a lamp that works so well, or will the LEDs not be strong enough? And plus, will the production of the LEDs be something that holds the set back? So I would put this to not as likely, a low likelihood, but not impossible, because it is still a unique idea. It is a real life object taken into a LEGO idea set. So yeah, not as likely, but not impossible. Then we have Bricks Coffee. Lovely build. Again, they just do not do those city builds from LEGO Ideas, unfortunately, so I don't think this has a likelihood of being made. Ogle Creek Sawmill. Ha ha ha. Ogle, also LEGO backwards, but you know, Alpha Team. This I would put as not impossible, but not very likely. Because, okay, it is outside of the city format. It is a very beautiful, you know, almost an A-frame cabin feel, almost a medieval blacksmith shop feel. But I do think it might be a little bit too similar to the A-frame cabin, which was just released from LEGO Ideas. So I don't think that's why it has such a likelihood. But it is a unique enough idea. It is something outside the city saying that maybe, you know, it's not impossible. Then we have Hollow Knight, Forgotten Crossroad. A LEGO Hollow Knight build is awesome. I mean, it's cool to see different video games captured in LEGO form. The design of this one, I think, lacks a huge, I guess, building draw to be made. And I worry that LEGO's a little bit put off by those buildable Adventure Time figures from long ago, which didn't sell too well, to do another buildable licensed figure thing for this type of design. I mean, it's not like, you say, the Marvel ones. In the design of this, I think I love the idea of getting a Hollow Knight. I haven't played it personally. It looks like a game I will enjoy someday. I just don't have too many times to play newer games, unfortunately. And I think that Hollow Knight still isn't super relevant in the pop culture zeitgeist by just the general public. So I don't think this one's really likely at all, unfortunately, even though it does look great and it's cool to capture that game in a LEGO Ideas format. LEGO Godzilla. This one, I think, is a sleeper hit. I think this one has a chance, especially with Kong v Godzilla, or sorry, Kong and Godzilla. There's like a new movie coming out, the sequel to Kong v Godzilla, coming out in 2025, I think, or is it 2024? I don't know. I'll put it right here. But yeah, this is something that I think will time perfectly with the release of that movie, but also Godzilla is iconic. You know, a buildable LEGO Godzilla sounds very likely as just a regular LEGO direct-to-consumer 18+ set. So now you could use the excuse of making a LEGO Idea set to have that release. I would put this in the very likely category, honestly. And it looks pretty awesome if you ask me. I do want a buildable Godzilla of my own. Anyways, so yeah, that one's very likely. It seems like the license is always getting my very likely hits, but who knows? I'm usually wrong with these. We have Claus Toys, which a Santa Claus set's awesome, but it goes into the territory of Winter Village, so I don't think LEGO will touch this at all, unfortunately. I think this is very unlikely, especially with the Winter Village releases and everything, so yeah, unfortunately not likely at all. Then we have Where's Waldo, or Where's Wally, depending where you're at. I hope that they would do a Where's Waldo print and a Where's Wally print, just both of them. But yeah, I think that name alone might be the thing holding it back from really getting made as a set. I don't think this one's likely at all because of that regional difference holding it back where it has two different names. Then again, the NES was released worldwide, you know, and we didn't get like a LEGO Famicom one, so who knows? And I think that the Cat in the Hat project is just a little bit more of a universal book than Where's Waldo, but Where's Waldo, you know, is something that a lot of us did grow up on, but I can't say, oh, everybody grew up on it like Dr. Seuss, you know? So yeah, I would actually put this not likely at all, unfortunately, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I just think it's a bit too, okay, we're going to have a build where you have to find Wally or Waldo too, where it just feels a bit random. And then it has that regional difference. There's just too many things stacked against this, even though this is something that's in a pop culture history. You know, it's something that will always be popular, at least with children. But yeah, I don't think it'll be likely. Oh my gosh, they have a Lego Twilight Ideas set. That is awesome. I did not expect that. I want this to be made because it's such a random license. It's such a random license that was also very popular, you know? Wow, okay, Lego Twilight. Let's have it be made. But unfortunately, I don't think it'll be made. I just don't think Twilight is as popular in current day pop culture zeitgeist. I don't think it's as popular as Harry Potter has stayed relevant, Lord of the Rings has stayed relevant. You know, Twilight, a lot of us have a soft spot for, but I don't think it holds up, especially something like, okay, the Cullen house, what an iconic build. It's not really an iconic build, you know, the minifigures are more iconic. So yeah, I would put this not likely at all, strangely enough. But yeah, that's just hilarious that they have a Lego Twilight set. What the heck? I want it to be made because I love random licenses that are so unexpected in Lego form. And the house itself is actually a really cool looking house, if you ask me. But anyways, we have a train, the Genoa. That is weird because my last name is Genoa. Yeah, Genoa, Italy, whatever. Okay, the design of this train is lovely, but I think Lego's going to hold off on the Lego Ideas trains until we get that Orient Express set, which hasn't even been rumored for this year yet, which again was in the first 2022 Lego Ideas review. So yeah, I don't think this one's likely at all, but gosh, it looks beautiful, and I want that cypress tree in different colors. Then we have the Riverside Lodge. I love the build here, but I think it's too similar to the A-frame cabin. I would put this not likely at all, unfortunately, but gosh, that waterfall build in particular is absolutely beautiful. Then we have some Daft Punk helmets. I want Lego Daft Punk. It's been a Lego Ideas project before, but if they didn't do it before with minifigure stuff, I don't think they're going to do it now with the helmet stuff. So I would put this not likely at all. Now, Settlers of Catan as a Lego Ideas project is very interesting. I just don't think it's as popular in pop culture for it to be made right now, and it might be a bit too niche taking it from the board game format into Lego, unfortunately, so I put this not likely at all. Oh my gosh, Holly has a project in here. Oh my gosh, Holly on film, or formerly known as Potter Minifig Pals. I love Holly, my girl Holly, like she's awesome, and she has a Monsters Inc. project. I think this one will be a likely to be made. I can't say extremely likely like Shrek, but I do think this one's likely because it's Monsters Inc. and Lego and Pixar. You know, the Up House was a mega seller. The only thing that would make it not be made is Holly's no longer involved with Lego. I don't know if they're on good terms, and I think that could be something that might, you know, get into a conflict. But other than that, I mean, it's ripe for an idea. The build is beautiful. This would sell like hotcakes again, like the Up project did. It's an iconic build. Okay, the big door, you know, to Monstropolis from Boo's room or whatever. Yeah, I just don't. I think there's those other factors. I don't know. Okay, I'll put it mid likely, but yeah, I want it to be made so bad. The Up House again sold so well, so that's something that they might be like, okay, let's just do it. And then we have the Ijinai family house. Now, I can't pronounce it, but this is something that's iconic to Lithuanian architectural history. And you should read up on the actual project submission page because it's very interesting, honestly. However, I just think, unfortunately, that history, I think, is a bit too niche to Lithuania for this to be a worldwide Lego Ideas release. So I don't think Lego has a likelihood at all to make this, unfortunately. Maybe if they did more architecture releases, but it seems like they're just slowing down on architecture. Like, is architecture still... I haven't even seen an architecture set in quite a bit. So, yeah, I don't think this one's likely at all, but still a beautiful project. Then we have the multi-tool. Okay, this is kind of awesome. I like the idea here, where you even have a brick separator. It's a funny little utensil of a Lego Ideas project. But I don't know. I mean, you have the katana... You have the screw part, like, it's more of a fun idea for, like, kind of a gag mock, but I don't know as a set that they would sell, really, especially with how common brick separators are. And yeah, I don't know. I would put this not likely, honestly. Unfortunately, it's cool. It's a cute idea, but it feels more of, like a mock than making it as a full set. Okay, this is the next ideas release, multi-tool. Huh, okay. All right, then we have the Portal 2 quantum tunneling device, aka the Portal gun. Now, we had a Portal project way back, and that was when Portal was a little bit more popular than it is now, since they haven't done releases recently. That was between the LEGO Dimensions release, which we actually did get a Portal set, and the release of Portal 2 in 2011, I think back in the Kuso days. So if they didn't do it with a minifigure set back when it was more popular, I don't think they'll do it now, even though I guess LEGO video game stuff has become more popular. This being a large-scale portal gun, especially with the name gun right there, might be a bit too much for LEGO to do. So I would put this not likely at all. Maybe one day we'll get a Portal minifigure set, but it just seems like, unfortunately, the series is a lot less popular than it was, 10 years ago when it was a Kuso project. Then we have LEGOLAND Central Station, which I love the idea here. But, man, I would love a train station in LEGO Ideas, but it just does not seem like something they want to do. Again, they don't do modulars in general, and this has a very modular feel to it. But, yeah, hopefully that'll change one day because this looks awesome. And, I like my little LEGO Island reference right there, right? Then we have an ET build, which is interesting because it's a build of the poster, but you also get just some little side builds right there, almost like the LEGO Ideas set, because again, we did get a LEGO Ideas ET set. I don't know. I think the poster might be a bit... This one's not a totally impossible one, but would they do this? I don't know. I said they wouldn't do Home Alone, and they did Home Alone, and obviously I underestimated just the longevity of the popularity of that film. I would put this in not very likely, but not impossible, under the mid likelihood and the high likelihood. Yeah, not very likely, but still possible because it is a very iconic poster. And, LEGO does like doing their art sets, which you could hang up, and this would be kind of like that. And, they didn't do an ET one yet. It's different from the format there where they haven't done movie posters straight up. So, yeah, not very likely, but not impossible. And we have the Amethyst Geode, which, cool idea, but large-scale object that's broken up. You got a hammer. I don't know. As a LEGO Ideas release, it might be a bit too static than what they want for the general public, where it is just the Amethyst Geode. It's not like a tech product that they like seeing built into an object, taking that and then making it into LEGO form. So it might be too expensive for what they're going for. So I wouldn't put it impossible, but not very likely. I don't know. And then we got the Scream. They did Starry Night. The Scream would be fun, and I love the LEGO interpretation here, maybe even more than Starry Night. So I would put this not very likely, but not impossible, because Starry Night was just recently released, and maybe too much of the same back-to-back. But geez, this is an awesome interpretation with the creepy Scream face. So I do adore that, and I love the landscapes at the back. So yeah, not very likely, but not impossible. Then we have the Liotru Elephant Fountain Catania. Okay, let's see a little bit more about this one. Liotru. Okay. Yeah, might be a bit too niche of an architectural piece. I can't even say it. But Sicilian region. Kind of like what I felt with the Lithuanian house. It might be too niche of an architectural piece, and even LEGO has slowed down drastically with architecture with like 2 releases, if not 1 release per year. So yeah, I would put this not likely at all, unfortunately, but still cool idea, cool build. Then we have the LEGO Astronaut Never Give Up. I believe this one's a resubmission. Never give up. There you go. If it wasn't approved the first time, I don't think this would be approved the second time. But, never give up, as they say. A space idea for sure, but a buildable astronaut, I don't know if that's something they would sell to the general public versus an actual space satellite or something like that. So yeah, I would put this not likely at all, unfortunately. Then we have the Iron Giant, pop culture, animation icon that did have kind of this weird resurgence where like it was in like Ready Player One, and they made more references and some other stuff around that time. I would put it not impossible, but not very likely, though, because I still wonder if the general public understands what the Iron Giant is, if it would be made. So yeah, I believe we've gotten a LEGO Ideas Iron Giant project before. Let me double check that. Yep. There was a LEGO Ideas Iron Giant project that was not approved from 2018. I remember that. So yeah, if it wasn't approved back then when it was a little bit more popular, in just being having a bit of a resurgence in things, I don't know if it will be approved now, but it would be cool. It would be really cool. And then we got a robotic mech factory. I like the idea behind here. You know, you even got a whole setup to have this, robot parts be made into different robot builds. Some motorization here, but I don't know. I think it's a bit too complex of an idea to sell to the general public as here's the LEGO Ideas robotic mech factory, you know? So I would put this not likely at all, unfortunately, as cool of an idea it is. Then we got Bluey again. Again, this is a resubmission, so on one hand, that makes it a little bit less likely than some other projects, but I think Bluey is just gaining more in popularity, especially with an older crowd. So I think it has that going for it. I would put this to mid-likely to... Yeah, I would leave it at mid-likely. I wouldn't say very likely. I wouldn't say not very likely at all. And definitely not impossible. But yeah, it's gaining more of a popularity with adults. And I think that has like a Sesame Street appeal to it. And I do love the project. You know, this is awesome. I love this classic house design. You know, I'm a sucker for classic house designs. But Bluey's just a really fun, chill show. So yeah, I would put that mid-likelihood. Oh my gosh, this one's back, and I love this one so much. I want this to be made. I don't even give a crap about Naruto, but like, I want crazy minifigures. I want this architectural style noodle shop in Lego form that isn't Monkey Kid, you know. And I want Lego to open up to anime. I don't love anime. I don't watch anime, but it would be awesome if they did anime projects. I just want to see more international franchises because it seems like they stick in the United States. Maybe you'll get like the British franchise from here to there. But yeah, they really should do this Naruto project if you ask me. Of course, in terms of Asian properties, we got South Korea's BTS, so maybe that's something that's, okay, maybe there is a likelihood that they could do a Japanese one, getting more from that continent, but this would be awesome. But the thing that's holding it back, it wasn't approved back in the day. You know, this is a second submission. So yeah, really want this to be made. I would put it in mid possibility though. I would have said very likely, which is probably what I said the first time with the Naruto one. But it just seems like Lego is like avoiding anime stuff for some reason. But I do think this one specifically has a draw even more than Howl's Moving Castle to be made as a Lego Ideas project. Even though I like Howl's Moving Castle as a property more, I think the execution here is something that could appeal to people who don't give a crap about Naruto, but also will definitely appeal to Naruto fans and just anime fans in general. So who knows? Then there's the Ducktales Money Bin, which right away I'm like, is that the Microsoft background? Right? That's the Microsoft background, right? Microsoft XP Professional. Am I wrong? Whatever. I like DuckTales. Woohoo. You know, you got a little buildable Scrooge to jump in, which is weird because they have a brick built one, not a minifigure one. I guess, is that like a height thing? DuckTales, woohoo. But I think it's too niche of actual idea to be made as a Lego Ideas project where it's like, okay, here's the money bin from DuckTales as a box that you open up and it's an 80s cartoon, or was it 90s, captured in Lego. Yeah, I don't think this one's likely. Now, we did get a DuckTales branded set with the Brickheads technically, you know, but yeah, it just feels a bit too niche, and we'll go more into later how Lego just does not touch Disney animated cartoons, actual like shows, but we'll get to that in a bit with a specific project coming up. Bionicle Toa head statue, you know, a lot of people love Bionicle, and then there's this weird like vocal, like other Lego fans who don't like Bionicle, they're always like, oh, Bionicle fans are so annoying, and then they'll be like Star Wars fans or Marvel fans, and it's like, grow a little bit of self-awareness, you know. All of these themes can have annoying fans, you know. I'm not a huge Bionicle fan myself. I mean, I liked the first two waves growing up, but come on, don't diss the Bionicle fans when you yourself are a fan of another Lego thing, and your Lego thing could be just as annoying with fans. There's vocal annoying fans for everything. If you want to attack specifically the vocal annoying fans, sure, but to generalize all fans as this, it just seems a little bit weird. I don't know. But with this specific Bionicle 20th anniversary model, I don't think this was likely at all. They denied the last Lego Bionicle project. It seems like Lego does not want anything to do with Bionicle ideas projects, unfortunately. Then we have the Deejay Chiama Italia. This is a show. Let me get any more insight right here. Okay. So, yeah, as much as I want foreign media, you know, something like Bluey is foreign media. And when I say foreign, it's Lego is not an American company, but they make mostly American licenses. I don't think this one has the draw internationally as something like a Bluey, as something like a Naruto. Unfortunately, I think it's a bit too niche, so I don't think this will be made, but that is really cool as an idea. But yeah, I don't think this has any likelihood at all. Then we have the Metropolitan Don't Miss Your Train, which I think is a resubmission. Let's double check that one if it is a resubmission. Oh no, maybe it's not a resubmission, huh? Maybe I just saw this one when it passed 10K. But the design with this, I love the idea, you know, this underground tube right here as a diorama. But with Lego just doing the Orient Express, I think we gotta wait a bit for another train set. So I don't think this one's likely at all. At the moment, I think if you submit it in maybe 4 years, maybe this has another chance, maybe 3 years, you know? But yeah, I think it's a bit too soon. They have not released that Orient Express set, and they're going to wait a bit. It seems like it might not even come out this year, so who knows? Then we have the classic telephone. Okay, this has some chance of being made because it's kind of like the Polaroid, where it's this nostalgic object built in Lego form, which it seems like Lego is really liking. You know, we're getting a Pac-Man arcade machine. We got the NES. We got the Atari. So yeah, this classic telephone, I think might need a little bit more of a function. Let me just double check the functions here. If it's more of just a model, okay, let's see, view the video. View the video. It's inspirational. Okay, so we got the function with the spinning part right there. But that's about it. Yeah, I think this needs just a little bit more of a selling point than just being the classic object. But who knows, you know? They did the Polaroid, so I would put this low likelihood, but not straight up impossible. Wednesday, I love saying Wednesday, you know, Wednesday, which was mega popular as a Netflix show. Welcome to Ophelia Hall. This thing was so popular. This show was so popular. Lego Jenna Ortega, let's do it. But yeah, you know, I think this has a mid to high likely chance. Wednesday was just so popular. And I don't even think they have pops of Wednesday yet. So Lego could totally just, hey, Netflix, what's up? With this one. And they've worked with Netflix before with the Queer Eye set, with the Stranger Things set. So they're not afraid to do Netflix shows. And I think this has a build that can appeal to people who don't give a crap about Wednesday. I love how there's the Minecraft pig right there, where it's so colorful. On one side, you know, the werewolf girl side, I forgot her name. But on the other side, you know, you got Wednesday stuff, macabre stuff. And I love the split right there. But it's such an interesting build beyond just what's included in the interior. It's something that I think appeals to people who aren't into Wednesday as a show. But the Wednesday show was so popular. I mean, look at this exterior right here. This is actually one of my favorites of the whole review period right here. And of course the minifigures are awesome to see those too. Yeah, I think this has, honestly, I wouldn't put high likelihood. I'm not going to put mid. I'm going to put high likelihood where I could see Lego's like, okay, this is we could go in on this, kind of like what they did with Minecraft, where it's like, okay, there's not too many toys of this. We're going in on this one. People were saying last time I said that there were toys at the time, whatever. Okay, Wednesday doesn't have too much toys. We could go in on this. Super popular, has appealed outside of Wednesday, where it's just this interesting gothic structure. It could be like up to $120 to $150. They'll definitely downscale it, but yeah, I think this one is extremely likely. Then we have Welcome to Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe 75th anniversary set. Now this one, I think it's a great idea, but it's kind of in a hard place where the movies aren't super popular anymore. But this is based off the books, which do have relevance, you know, with children growing up today especially. but not as much as even a Where's Waldo. I don't think it has as much with Where's Waldo now, and then that doesn't even have as much as Cat in the Hat, which is in this review. And so this not being based particularly on the movies, but kind of being selling on the books, the 75th anniversary, it's in a weird place where it's hard to market. If there was a Narnia project, a TV show or movie, this would have a likelihood, but I don't think this one's likely at all, honestly. It's a beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful build. I think the person even put it on the subreddit of Just Too Good. Just Too Good subreddit, always got to go on there. But I just don't think it's really something that Lego will do because of those holdbacks and their company. They want to make money. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents. I want it to be made, but rip, Stardew Valley Farmhouse. Now, Stardew Valley is pretty popular. I'd say it's more popular than Hollow Knight with just the general public. It's not like super, super popular as like any Nintendo property, you could say. So maybe not super relevant with the general public, but not as, I guess, unrelevant with the general public as a more niche thing like Hollow Knight. But I do think the design might be a bit too basic for what they're trying to sell to. So I don't think this one's really likely at all. Sorry, I do love this look, though. Personally, I'm a fan of this build, but unfortunately, I don't think Stardew Valley is going to be made. Parks and Rec. It's funny, because I think even at one point, Parks and Rec just wasn't allowed. They might have, I guess, let it be allowed with Office and some other ones being made Friends and stuff. It was super popular a couple of years ago post-cancellation. I'm not sure, because of all this streaming crap where they, like, split up the streaming rights between 15 different things, and it's like, where is it on? But I do think this one has more of a chance than Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I wouldn't put this impossible, but I would put it in the not very likely to not likely at all, kind of in the middle there, like a very low likelihood. Not even, it's just not very likely. Not very low. Just not very likely. But I don't think it's impossible. But yeah, I think even Lego is going to be chilling off with these sitcom sets, honestly, for just a little bit. And then we got the antique cabinet. Yeah, I don't think this one's likely either. You are getting an object in Lego form, which again seems like something Lego is doing, but this might be a bit too much of like, oh, here's the Lego Ideas antique cabinet they're doing. Like Polaroid has more of a kick. The Atari has more of a kick. I know that's not Lego Ideas. This one might be a bit more of a, okay, that's kind of a random Lego idea, even though I love the build here. So unfortunately, I don't think that will be made. Gilmore Girls. I love my random licenses in Lego. This is a older show than Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec. I don't know if this one really will be made. I mean, Friends was made, and that's around the same time. But I think, like, okay, Gilmore Girls might be a bit less of a light show for Lego to do. More of a drama. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they would do this one. I would put this in not likely at all, unfortunately, especially with that huge build that it would have to require. It seems a bit of a tougher sell. This is awesome. Cool Runnings, Jamaica bobsleigh team. This one, I think, has more of a chance than some of those other pop culture ones we did. Older movie, a little bit niche, but I think the general public, oh yeah, that's the Jamaican bobsled movie, or it's just Cool Runnings. He's just what is it? The father's like, I see pride in the mirror. What does he say? But anyways, the design of this, I think the winner here, I think what will sell this is it's not expensive. Like Gilmore Girls, that's a huge build. This, they can knock out like a $35 Tron Legacy thing, which they did Tron Legacy, if you remember. And they can knock this out and just be like, okay, yeah, it's a Cool Running set. Specifically, though, I'm seeing that, is this specifically tied? Yeah, okay, to the movie. Okay, I was about to say, because I was like, if they market it more on the Olympic actual event, it might be a little bit less, but if they tie it into the movie and the Olympic event, both of them, like, synergy right there. I don't think we'll get a John Candy here because this is a display of just the team right there. But yeah, I think Lego might go for this one. I would put this to not extremely likely, not very likely, to mid likelihood, kind of in the middle there. Because again, they can do a cheap licensed set like a Tron Legacy, which I think sold well. Where, okay, it is a little bit more of a less recognizable film, but it does have a fan base. You do know what it is in the general public, but it's just maybe not have watched it, or haven't watched it in a while. And I think they could put this up. So that's where it's at for me. And I would like that to be made, because it would just be a fun, like, okay, let's get a sports movie as a Lego set. That would be cool. And like, that's probably the most likely sports movie to get as a Lego set. Maybe Field of Dreams I've seen in some Legoland parks, but yeah. One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful, do 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 do. That's like the only song I wouldn't say love, but I enjoyed a bit from them. I will admit. I don't know any of the other songs. Never cared for any of their other songs. Love the scene here, but I don't know. I think it's a bit of an older song for them to do. I think the BTS Dynamite, which sold really well, might lighten up where they might be, okay, maybe we should try this. But I don't know if the music video was as popular as the song itself, where the BTS music video was extremely popular and broke all these records. So the build here would require a very detailed build. So unless they downscale this tremendously, which will get some people mad, I don't know if this one has as much a likelihood as a BTS set. But I don't think it's impossible. I'll put this in a not very likely, but not impossible category. Gotta take a little drink. It's hilarious that they put Harry Styles and the One Direction set back to back. Okay, Lego. But yeah, Harry's house, is this like based off of a music video? Yeah, so there you go. It's based off of an album cover. There's another house that we'll get to in a little bit that I think is more likely. But Harry Styles is very popular as a person. But yeah, I don't think this one's likely at all. I think that there's another house that I think we'll get to in a bit. But I feel like even I was like, okay, is this an album or a song? But the other one, I'm like, okay, I know what that is. So we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, not likely. Blackpink, How You Like That. So Blackpink is another K-pop band. Okay, we're really going into the Just 2 knowledge right here, you know. This is some insight. Yeah, the international hit. So it's another very popular music video from recent times, like the BTS one, but I think the BTS one was a little bit more popular. I wouldn't put this not likely at all. I'd put this in a not very likely to mid likelihood. So mid likelihood of being made. So yeah, more likely than What Makes You Beautiful, but not in the category, okay, they're gonna make this like the BTS one, you know. But Blackpink is pretty darn popular internationally, so that is something. But I just think maybe is the music video as popular as a Dynamite? I don't think so. So yeah, Lantern in the Wind. Okay, let me see if this has specific one. The Lake House, built in 2008. Okay, this one I feel like might be a bit too random of an idea. Where it's like, okay, it's the Lantern in the Wind Lego idea set. What is it selling here? Is what I usually try to look at this. What is it selling here? It's selling this lake house, great autumn tree. But yeah, as a display, I just don't think the general public is going to latch onto this, you know? Unfortunately, internationally, around the world. So yeah, I would put this not likely at all, unfortunately. But a beautiful project, if you ask me. The Addams Family. Da, 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 da. So you see, this could sell a bit because of Wednesday, but I think the Wednesday project is just like this property done in the most likely way. Because Wednesday was a mega smash hit. Addams Family House, okay, which version of the Addams Family are we capturing here? You know, it has that question. Is it the original show? Is it Addams Family Values? You know, one of the movies from the 80s and 90s? It has too much, okay, which version are we doing? I don't think this one's likely at all, and I think that Wednesday one is so much more likely. But cool project. The SpongeBob SquarePants Bikini Bottom. Oh, please make this Lego. Just everybody keeps submitting freaking SpongeBob projects because they need to do some more Lego SpongeBob. But if they didn't do Krusty Krab before, I think a Bikini's Bottom setup like this is less likely as a Lego Ideas project, even though they did these before in their actual own theme, but not with this level of detailing. I like the twist here where we got Squilliam, where we got Doodle Bob. That's awesome. Even the bubble stand. Oh, you even got the patio wagon. Come on. But yeah, I would feel like they would do Krusty Krab if they do any SpongeBob ideas, and they didn't do Krusty Krab. So I would put this not very likely, not impossible, but that pains me to say. But yeah, Lego, just do a Krusty Krab. There was like some amazing Krusty Krab projects submitted. Okay, Bricklink Lego color table. Well, Lego owns Bricklink now, so that's kind of an interesting collab. But you know, this is such a popular idea. There's been third-party companies that have been doing this for a couple of years now. And I think this could be one for the fans, you know. But maybe even then, you know, as just a straight up Lego love letter, like a Bionicle, like this one. Well, then there was Pirates of Barracuda Bay, so I would put this not impossible, but not very likely. But yeah, not impossible. Interesting idea for sure. And then we got the moon, Earth's companion. This is cool. A poster about the moon, some of the phases of the moon. But it does look beautiful. It does look beautiful. Space Project 2. Again, I think a lot of these space dioramas, and dioramas kind of like this, the flat ones, not straight up like a Starry Night, but like kind of diagrams like this, I think depend on that space age project. I think that if that sells well, if that doesn't, and then it's too early to really judge that one to see if this will be made. But who knows? By the time it will be like almost half a year when I guess the results of this are announced. So who knows? But yeah, I would put this not very likely, but not impossible. Okay, so this is the house I was talking about. Taylor Swift is extremely popular now, even more than Harry Styles. And this Lover music video was one like Dynamite where it got so many views, more than I would say the popularity of the album cover. The thing is, there's one of these in review already. It's not approved, it's just in review. So we don't know yet. This one's a more detailed build, but I think really it hinges on that one. I think this being submitted after that one. Maybe though, because, okay, this is a little complex because the reason they could go with this one and not the one that's in review is because two things. This one's more detailed. Maybe they need more breathing time between the release of the BTS set and that Lover house that is in review. So like this period of review might be a little bit more likely. But I still think the one that's in review is more likely because that one came first. So yeah, I think both of these are in the very likely category, if I had to be honest, because I just see the mega popularity of Taylor Swift worldwide and this Lover music video and everything that I think this is something Lego's going to want to do. And I think the BTS set was such a hit so quick. I think they want to jump on another one, kind of like their sitcom craze. But yeah, this particular project though, I think the first one's more likely, but there is a possibility of this one being chosen because then they'll have more breathing time between BTS and the other one that's in review. I don't know. So yeah, a likely idea I would say, but this project in particular maybe not very likely, I would say, because it's after the last Lover house. I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm not just rambling right here. Okay, Ice Cream Parlor, again, same problem. Modulars, they don't do. Love this idea, though, to death. I would love this, but they're not going to do it. Elf, the movie. Okay, so Home Alone was a hit. Rip Michael Lerner. Elf is such a holiday classic, but it's not like the Home Alone house where I don't think this build is as iconic as the Home Alone house. So I don't think this one has a likelihood at all to be made, unfortunately. But if they could think of some elf diorama or something that's cheap and not as detailed as this one would require and everything, maybe then we can get a Lego elf set, even with, you know, friggin' Michael Lerner and all. But I don't think this is going to be made. But Elf is a property that is very popular, and they get that Home Alone crowd, you know? Double Helix Coaster, I would love this. I would love this so much. It's uncharted territory because Lego hasn't done an Ideas roller coaster before. So, would they start with this one in particular? I don't know. This might be the first I don't know of the video. I say it has a possibility, some type of possibility, but I don't know how much of a possibility because it's straight up uncharted territory. They've never done a amusement park ride unless you count that one coin operated promo, you know. But okay, so here's the Disney show that I was talking about. I was hinting out before. Ida's Owl House, the Owl House, which is very popular with people online. But I don't think it's as popular a show as Gravity Falls, and Gravity Falls was denied 15 times. Keep trying Gravity Falls. I think one day they'll do it. But I think with that being less with this Owl House, the show being less popular than Gravity Falls was or is currently, even though both have ended, I don't think this has a chance of being made at the moment. I think once Lego does one of these animated shows, not Flintstones, because that one's old, that was a hit though. I think that was a really well-selling idea set, but like a modern animated show, I think they'll see, oh, okay, this stuff does actually sell. Like if they did Gravity Falls, they'd be like, okay, this does actually sell. Then they do an Owl House. So I think in the future, I think Owl House is a property also that more people are going to watch, even though it's ended, and see, oh yeah, this is a really cool show. And it's such a unique build they have going on here. I would love this to be made, even though I never got into Owl House too much personally. Jester Red loves that one. But I think this just needs more time. I just think this just needs more time. It needs Lego to realize, oh, we could do more animated shows as Lego Ideas projects, even anime like Naruto, anime influenced stuff like this. They didn't even do like Avatar, which was so weird. I don't know why they denied those. But yeah, Lego needs to, once they do one of them and they see how well it sells, they'll do that one. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful build. As somebody who doesn't even care about Owl House. Wizard's Hut. Speaking of a witch house, Wizard's Hut. Okay, I know Owl House, not technically a witch house, whatever you want to call it. This one is interesting, but might be a bit too niche, especially with rumors of a Majesto's Magic Shop remake this summer. Might be a bit too niche to the general public of, oh, here's the Lego Ideas Wizard's House. Here's what's coming out, and then have this build be that. Like the general public would want more of like a traditional, Majesto style house. But I love this. Reminds me a lot of the one from RuneScape that is, what is it? It's south of the first port place. The one that plays that music. I'll put the music right here so that you know which one it is. Okay. Hourglass. This one was interesting. I saw this one, and I was like, okay, I like the idea here of this Lego Ideas object that could be usable, but I'm like thinking, how many people use hourglasses nowadays? Like if you're playing Scrabble, what's the other use of an hourglass nowadays, So I don't think it has too much relevancy and too much of a kicker like a Polaroid to be made into a set. So I don't think this one's really likely at all, but gosh, they look gorgeous, and that would be cool. And I like the use of that balloon piece in clear. Small shrimping boat, sorry. The design here I do really like. I just think that's a hard sell. Okay, the small shrimp boat. That's the next Lego Idea set. I think if they do a boat like this, we'll get something like the Jaws set, which I think there's one in review. Am I wrong, or did it get denied? Let's see. Yeah, there is a Jaws set in review. This is more likely, and I do think that one's very likely, but we'll see. That was in a previous review video. And then finally, Vintage Radio. I don't think this one has as much as a vintage guitar appeal or vintage camera appeal. It's a cool idea, a vintage video game console. It doesn't have that much appeal. This Vintage Radio. Cool idea though, but I just think it's a bit too niche for the generation they're going for that would buy this, Might be a bit too out of touch for the buying power of people who are buying Lego. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this one's likely at all. Whew. This was a review, and you could even see the third 2022 review, which is the last review, which I did do a video on, so check that out. They have the Pac-Man project, which is funny because now they have a Pac-Man arcade machine coming. They have the Up House, which funny, we got that set this year. The Lover House, which we talked about that being in a review already. Woo. Okay, so yeah, this is the craziest, biggest review yet. I'm kind of exhausted from all of this, but if I had to pick my two most likely ones, they are both properties that are entertainment properties that are licensed. One is a show, which I think I skipped over. Okay. So first, I guess we'll go to the movie. The movie, you all know, and it's not this one. I think it's going to be Ash and Flash's Shrek Swamp. Lego and Ash and Flash, they love each other. Ash and Flash is an ambassador. My boy Ash, started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole crew is here. And then Puss in Boots was a mega hit. Shrek is extremely relevant. Not only in internet culture, in the general public. Everybody knows Shrek. It's extremely popular anime movie franchise. Even if there hasn't been a Shrek movie since 2010, there has been Shrek spin-offs We just got the Puss in Boots sequel, and that slapped, and that made so much money at the box office for what it was budgeted at. You know, very critically acclaimed. It's beloved. It's a beloved franchise. So yes, I think this has a chance, particularly with Ashton. He's a Lego ambassador. They're, you know, pals, Lego and Ash. So that I think is going to be made. There's also another great Shrek project that's up there. But I just think Ashton's is a little bit better. And I also think that Ash has more of a relationship. And then also, for the show that I was teasing at, it is, of course, the one, the only, where the heck is this project? Wednesday, Welcome to Ophelia Hall. I think this is something where Lego wants to get on it, where like other toys haven't captured some Wednesday toys. It was a smash internet hit, pop culture hit in last year's pop culture. I think it was the most popular show last year. Like, I don't know what show was more popular. Like, I think it surpassed, you know, all the talk of Andor, all the talk of Game of Thrones. Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. And then it has this gothic idea that I think could appeal to just fans of different types of Lego buildings, the general public, but also you're selling it on the license alone, which captures the license very well in its interior. I think Lego's going to want to hit this one up where it's like, okay, you know, we did Minecraft when that one was fresh. We're doing Wednesday when that one's fresh. And I think that will be a mega hit. But yeah, so I think the licenses are more likely this time around. And there are some other cool licenses. You know, we saw Cool Runnings, literally. We saw another Lover House. We saw Twilight, which was funny. SpongeBob. For the unlicensed stuff, a little bit tougher sells this time around, I have to say. A little bit tougher sells for the unlicensed stuff. Where it seems like this one might be a license winner. So the unlicensed people are going to be a little bit mad. Where like, oh, wish there was just more organic Lego ideas. But, you know, there's some space projects here and there that could be a hit. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of the unlicensed stuff is kind of overlapping with what Lego is releasing for unlicensed stuff nowadays. That Sea Turtle, I think, has something in terms of, you know, that being possible. But yeah, not too much of the unlicensed stuff. The spacecraft right here, I think, is pretty darn likely. So yeah, the Crown, surprisingly, is pretty likely. Even the licensed stuff, Dr. Seuss, is a very interesting and I think probably likely idea. So yeah, 71 projects. Not much else to say here. Let me know which is your favorite. Let me know which ones you think will be made into official sets late 2024, mid 2024, and 2025. Subscribe here for more LEGO Ideas reviews. Check out the other LEGO Ideas reviews. Check out the recent Summer 2023 sets reveals, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.